Hey, what's up? This is Brian Pfeiffer with VegasVIPServices.com, and I'm standing here today in front of Omnia, okay? And this is the Caesars Palace right behind me here, and across the street over there, that's going to be the Cromwell, and that's where the #1 hip-hop club is, and that's what this video is going to be all about, is the hip-hop clubs in Las Vegas, because I get asked a lot of times what the #1 hip-hop club is and where hip-hop is being played. If you like hip-hop, this is where you're going to want to go, so pay attention to this video. These are going to be your options out here in Las Vegas. There's kind of my top 5, and then I'm going to go into some other kind of ones that are sort of like hip-hop places. They play a little open format, if you will, but for the most part my top 5 are the best ones in Vegas. And of course #1, that's going to be Drai's nightclub. Okay, Drai's nightclub's at the Cromwell, and they do hip-hop Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Most of the time they have Sundays open. In the slow season they don't open Sundays, but pretty much every Friday and Saturday you're going to find artists like Chainz, Fresh Montana, Gucci Mane, Lloyd. They got a pretty good roster. Big Sean, TIP. All the best hip-hop guys are usually there. That's going to be your best hip-hop party in town. The maiden DJ Franzen, he knows how to really work that room, and it's a good party. I'm not even a huge hip-hop fan. I like that party. So it's good if I like that party, and it's a good vibe in there. There's always a lot of pretty girls, and it's rocking. Okay, so that's my #1 pick for hip-hop. If you want to see the best party in Vegas, go to Drai's on a Friday or Saturday. That's your #1 hip-hop place. #2 on my list, that's going to be Hakkasan Nightclub on Fridays only. Okay, they've put together a hip-hop night on Fridays now, and they've been putting a lot of marketing behind it, and it's actually doing pretty good. They bring in some artists like Bia, Tyga, and it's rocking. Okay, they book Tyga a lot over there, and it's a good party on Fridays. So if you're into hip-hop and you want to check out kind of one of the bigger clubs that does hip-hop, that's going to be Hakkasan on Fridays. So put that on your list of possible opportunities. #3 on my list, I'm going to say probably Omnia, which is behind me, and they got the Heart of Omnia. Okay, the Heart of Omnia is a extension of the the main rooms on one side, the Heart of Omnia is on the other. They got a Terrace outside, which is deep house, but the Heart of Omnia actually plays hip hop inside, and it's all hip hop all night, and it's a good vibe. Okay, the club's well done. It's a big rectangle, and if you put that club at any city, just a hip hop club at any city in the country besides Vegas, that'd be like the best club in town. It's pretty well laid out, DJ in the middle, good tables, a lot of room, and a really good hip-hop party. Okay, so I definitely recommend checking that out if you want a good hip-hop party and want to maybe walk over to the main room, see a big artist, or go out to the Terrace, catch a breath of fresh air, hear some deep house music, and you get it all in one club here at Omnia. Okay, let's talk about #4 on my list, and that's Town Nightclub. Okay, Town Nightclub's kind of been a staple in this city for like 15 years now, and they do a lot of hip-hop. It's not all hip-hop. They do a little bit of open format, but I definitely recommend Tao if you got kind of a tight budget, you want to get a good table for a reasonable price. Tables start at like $750 and up. You get a good table like for $1,500, $2K. You're sitting on the dance floor. Okay, they do a good job too with the girls. They give them free drinks from 11:30 to 12:30, so there's always a lot of girls in there. So if you're at a bachelor party and want to meet some girls, you can't go wrong with Tao. Reasonable minimums, a little bit of hip-hop, a little bit of open format music, and a lot of girls, and good section for a reasonable price. So #5 on my list is going to be Jewel Nightclub. Okay, that's going to be right over here to my right here at the Aria, and Jewel Nightclub is a very well done club. That's another one of those clubs that if you put it in any other city, it's going to be the best club in town by a country mile. Awesome light show, great tables. They got an upper level. They got these really cool suites that all have like themes and whatnot. They got like the goat suite and all this other stuff up there, really cool for larger groups. The club's very well done. Again, that would be an amazing club in any city, but in Vegas you're competing with your Excess, your Hakkasan, your Omnia, the Zouk, so it's kind of like your 5th or 6th one down the list. So that's kind of why they went more hip-hop. But one time they were trying to do a lot of EDM, but it's more hip-hop now on Fridays and Saturdays, and they do have a great Monday party that's going to be more open format, kind of a mix of everything, and their Flawless Monday party's really good. So that would be definitely my top 5. Now let's talk about some other places here that I send a lot of my hip-hop clientele. Maybe they can't swing the expensive trays, or even Jewel. The bottle prices and Tao are expensive. Hakkasan, same thing. They're all $850 a bottle these days. But you can go over to a place like On the Record, which is at the Park MGM, and you get a couple bottles for around $1,100, and you're sitting at a good table. And they have 2 DJs. They have one in the main room, mostly hip-hop, and another one in the other room that plays mostly hip-hop. A little bit of open format, a little bit of old school R&B, but it's a good vibe and a good place for a good party for a reasonable price. And I would definitely recommend checking out On the Record if you want to get a reasonable price, a reasonable table, and you want a little bit more hip-hop. That's probably what you're going to find over there. Now let's talk about the Foundation Room. Okay, that's another one that plays a lot of hip hop and open format. It's been around forever. It's at the top of the Mandalay Bay. It's a great view. It's more of a stop-in place, but some people make it a destination for birthday parties and whatnot. They do play a lot of hip hop over there, a little bit of EDM, and I have a bottle package for like around $9.50 for a couple bottles on the table. Can't go wrong. Okay, if you want views, want a great table, want to hear some hip hop, maybe consider Foundation Room as one of your options. Next on my list is some nights. Okay, places like Marquee. Okay, they'll have a DJ Mustard, and they'll do all hip hop, or they'll maybe book a Tyga, but it's rare. Okay, you're going to find that most of the time they're EDM, but you got to check the schedule below. Click on the link, go to my site, check the schedule, see who's playing there. But if they got DJ Mustard or Tyga over there, it's going to be more, more of a hip hop night. Same thing with Zook. Okay, over at Zook they have, Ludacris now is one of their residents, so they're occasionally mixing in a hip hop night. They had a Post Malone there recently. Okay, so that would have been more of a hip hop-y type party. So check the schedule for that, because Zook could potentially be a hip hop club on any given night. Now they also have some off-strip clubs like Embassy Nightclub. Right now they're only open Saturdays. They were open Friday, Saturdays, closed their Fridays for the winter. Now I think they're going to go back to Friday, Saturdays in the spring. And then the Friday, Saturday party is going to be hip-hop in one room, in the main room on Fridays, and then in the Saturdays, it's going to be hip-hop in the side room and Latin in the main room. Okay, so Embassy Nightclub's an inexpensive club. You're going to find a lot of locals there. It's going to be more of a Latin hip-hop party. I think you get a reasonably priced table there for around $500, and maybe get the music you need if you're on a tight budget and you want to have a good time and not spend a fortune. That would probably be a good call. Now there are some other places, on Fremont Street. There's a place like Troy Liquor Bar. They're going to play a lot of hip hop over there. It's going to be open format, but it's a smaller venue. Overlooks the Fremont Street Strip, which is kind of cool. And then there's also over there, I think they're going to change that place called Cheap Shot right next to We All Stream. They're doing shows in there, but from what I hear in the spring, they might be making that into a hip hop club as well. It's a smaller type place, but a lot of hip hop over there on Fremont Street in that particular venue, where most of the other places are playing EDM, Disco Pussy across the street, We All Scream, even Commonwealth. They have more house DJs and tech house DJs. So might be a little gem in there on Fremont Street East. That little Cheap Shot place might be a hip hop club coming up here. I don't know for sure, but that's the rumor I've heard. So that is really about it for the hip hop rooms. Hakkasan does have a hip hop room. Okay, they used to open it up very often when they'd have an Aoki in town or an Alesso, on their roster, and it'd be super busy. And they have a third floor called the Ling Ling Club. It's actually a pretty cool club. I like the Ling Ling Club, but it's not busy enough these days for them to open it up very often. So it's kind of rare that they open it up. Maybe on a Saturday night with Alesso, you might see them have the Ling Ling Club open, which is a cool club. Unfortunately, they just don't have enough people these days to fill the main room, the pavilion, and then the third floor Ling Ling Club. All right, so another one I want to mention is the Chateau inside the Terrace. Okay, that's going to be more hip-hoppy, inexpensive. You can get tables starting at $150 for two people. It is a lounge, so they're operating no guest list, no tickets. You got to buy a table, but the minimums are low, anywhere from $150 to $1,000 minimum. You're sitting at a really good table. So definitely, if you want a good hip-hop type party, outdoor, overlooking the Bellagio fountains at Chateau. I know they're going to go through a remodel at some point in 2023. I don't know when that's going to be, and I don't know if they're going to come back with the same kind of pricing that they have, but we'll see. It is a pretty cool setup. I hope they keep the pricing low, because I do book a lot of tables there. It's good for a lot of people on lower budgets, and it's a good party. Okay, so that's definitely something to consider. You also might want to consider Live in the Fontainebleau. That's going to be one that's going to be opening up sometime in 2023, and they have a big hip hop party on Sunday nights in Miami. So I'm going to guess they're going to do something here, maybe Sunday nights, maybe another night for hip hop. So definitely consider that as one of your hip hop options as well. The Fontainebleau Live. I don't know really what's much about that club, who's going to be there, who's DJing. They really haven't given us any details yet, but I do know it's slotted to kind of open toward the tail end of 2023, so definitely consider that. And then the final club I wanted to mention was going to be the Ghost Bar at the New Palms. Got taken over by some Indian casino operators, and they changed it from it was Ghost Bar, then it was Apex Social Club when Chaos was open, and then it closed, and now it's back to Ghost Bar. And they're doing kind of more hip hop up there. It's a nice view from the top of the Palms overlooking the Strip. So definitely consider that as maybe a lower budget hip hop option at the Palms. There are some nice restaurants over there as well. So if you want to bundle everything, we got packages below to check the Ghost Bar out, and some dinners, limos, etc. All right, so let's talk about the hip hop pool parties. You're definitely going to want to check these out. If you're into hip hop nightclubs, you're probably going to want to check out the hip hop pool parties. Of course, the #1 hip hop pool party, in my opinion, is going to be Drai's Beach. Okay, Drai's Beach is going to be hip hop now. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. At one time, they were trying to just do one day hip hop. Now they're pretty much all hip hop. So that's going to be your best hip hop pool party. Friday, Saturday, Sundays. Generally on Saturdays and some Sundays they book artists, and it's going to be really rocking on those days. If they don't have an artist, it might not be all that busy, but they'll still be mostly hip hop if that's what you're into. All right, #2 on my list is going to be Daylight Pool Party. They do a lit Sunday pool party, which is going to be all hip hop, very hip hoppy party, and it's rocking, it's busy, it's definitely worth checking out. I would definitely consider it if you're into hip hop. And then Fridays and Saturdays are going to be a little bit more open format, lit, little mix of top 40, EDM, hip hop, Latin, all the genres on Fridays and Saturdays. But that Sunday party is solid, okay, over there at Daylight if you're into hip hop. Now Sundays they also do a hip hop party over at Towel Beach almost every Sunday. They'll book like a Tyga, a Little John, and they'll do hip hop mostly. Occasionally they'll bring in like a Sophie Tucker and do EDM, but check the schedule. If it's Tyga, Little John, Bia, any of the Towel Group hip hop artists, that's going to be an all hip hop party on Sunday at Towel Beach. Obviously it's a newer pool, so that's going to be definitely a competitor. If I were to pick, on a Sunday when they got Tyga and they don't have anything over at Drai's or Daylight, then probably Towel Beach will be the best one. It'll be my #1 pool party on a Sunday. Okay. Some of the other pools that do play a little bit of hip hop, but it's not all hip hop. There's Stadium Swim over at the Circa. They're going to have a DJ that plays open format. You're going to hear some hip hop over there. It's a nice vibe. They got a mix of everything. They don't bring in any big DJs or whatnot. It's good for sporting events, and it's busy on the weekends, and it's popular. It's up on Fremont Street. It's the only kind of major pool up there, and they do play some hip hop up there, so it's definitely worth checking out. Now on some days you're going to find maybe DJ Mustard over at Marquee Day Club, but it's rare. That would be a hip hop party over there, so keep an eye out when DJ Mustard or like a Tyga is at Marquee Day Club. And other than that, maybe Liquid Pool Lounge, they're going to play a little bit of hip hop as well, open format, basically Friday. I think they're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 5 days a week, you're going to find open format there, and a little bit of mix of hip hop and everything. And finally, to round out my list, there's a couple other pools that probably deserve a little bit of a mention. There's the Flamingo Pool Party at the Flamingo across the street. That used to be the Go Pool, and they used to do like promoters, guest lists, tickets. Now it's just a hotel pool, and you can just walk up. But they do have a DJ spin and open format, which is going to be a list, your top 40, EDM, a little bit of hip hop. It's a pretty good party. It's free to get in. It's worth checking out if you don't want to spend a lot of money. You just want to go and have a drink at a pool party. The Flamingo might be a good spot for you. And then there's the Azillo Ultra Pool at the Sahara, which is going to play a little bit of top 40, EDM, Latin, and hip hop. Okay, and that's a cool, really nice, well done pool. Worth checking out if you want to hear a little bit of hip hop and not spend a fortune. You get a nice day bed or a cabana over there, very reasonably priced, and it's a well done pool. I think you would like it if you don't want to spend a fortune and want to have like just a really nice experience at a pool party. That's a good spot for you. So that kind of rounds out my pool party hip-hop venues, and then before that it was the hip-hop nightclubs. If you guys have any questions about any of these places, my number's above, 773-459-8133. And we do have packages for like brunch, we do drag brunch, and we do limos, so there's all kinds of different options if you want to do a pool party. And of course at night we have male shows, like men's shows, we have regular shows, we have limos, dinners, and places like Top Golf, with Exploring Las Vegas.com. And we kind of bundle everything up and we make all these cool packages, and then we can customize anything for you and your group. So if you did like this content, make sure you put a like on this video. I would appreciate it. It helps the channel. And then make sure you subscribe to this video for more, and bang that notifications bell to be notified about my next video. I'm Brian Pfeiffer signing out here from front of Omnia, which is where the Heart of Omnia is, hip hop club. And those are the best hip hop nightclubs and pools in Las Vegas for 2023. Look forward to working with you. Talk soon. Bye.